Just in, Prince Andrew has reportedly made a bold attempt to reclaim royal privileges he lost after his public downfall. But this time, it's not the king or public holding him back, it's Princess Anne. With quiet force, she's drawn the line and shut him down completely. The fall, when Andrew lost everything. In October 2025, the royal family made a decision that shook the entire institution. Prince Andrew was officially stripped of everything. He lost not only his military honors, ceremonial titles, and royal patronages, but also the use of his own name. Overnight, he became simply Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. No more His Royal Highness, no more Duke of York. The palace issued the final cut, a clean break from a prince once expected to hold one of the monarchy's most visible roles. That same month, Andrew was also ordered to vacate Royal Lodge, the Grand Windsor estate he had called home for years. His lease was terminated, and eviction proceedings began. It wasn't just a symbolic gesture, it was a forced exit, both physically and politically. As The Guardian reported, it marked a complete separation from royal privilege and position. Adding to the blow, Andrew's honorary military rank of Vice Admiral was revoked. For a man who once boasted of his naval career and military pride, this final removal cut deep. Even ceremonial roles, including orders of chivalry and public appearances at state events, were stripped away. Every link between Andrew and the institution was severed. These actions were the culmination of years of growing scandal, most infamously his connections to Jeffrey Epstein and his out-of-court settlement with Virginia Giuffre in early 2022. The fallout was brutal and sustained. Public trust evaporated. Political leaders distanced themselves. And even inside the palace, support crumbled. The monarchy's decision wasn't just punishment, it was protection. A way to shield the crown from further damage and send a message that even royal blood doesn't guarantee immunity. As one royal insider said bluntly, Andrew didn't step down, he was removed. And in that moment, the once proud prince fell harder than anyone in modern royal memory. Rumors of a comeback. Andrew's attempt to reclaim what he lost. Not long after his public fall in October 2025, whispers began to spread. Prince Andrew was quietly testing the waters for a return. According to Yahoo News, during a private visit to a royal estate, he reportedly discovered more privileges had been revoked, and the reality hit harder than expected. Sources claim even basic royal courtesies were gone: titles, deference, and status. One aide was overheard saying people now relished calling him Mr. Mountbatten Windsor. This moment sparked speculation. Was Andrew trying to regain what he had lost? Or was he simply shocked at how complete the cut truly was? Either way, insiders say he began subtly challenging his new limitations, from questioning property access to pressing for invitations to private royal gatherings. Observers believe it wasn't just about titles, it was about identity, pride, and entitlement. For decades, Andrew had lived as a senior royal, with all the status and protection that came with it. Now, stripped of everything, his actions seemed like a desperate attempt to claw back dignity, or perhaps test the boundaries of the palace's punishment. But the attempt didn't go unnoticed. Royal staff reportedly flagged his behavior to senior family members, warning that Andrew appeared to be testing the system. Public reaction was swift and unforgiving. The same people who had called for his removal now demanded that no ground be given back. This wasn't just about Andrew anymore. It became a test of the monarchy's resolve. Would they stand firm? Or would they quietly let him back in? That question set the stage for even more dramatic fallout. Because behind the palace doors, someone else was watching very closely. Princess Anne. Behind closed doors, family shock and internal conflict. Inside palace walls, Prince Andrew's attempted return didn't just rattle staff, it deeply unsettled the royal family. According to reports from Daily Jang and Geo News, both Princess Anne and Prince Edward were privately concerned about how far things had gone. The eviction from Royal Lodge had already caused discomfort, but Andrew's subtle push to regain lost ground reignited internal tension. Sources close to the family revealed that Anne, in particular, was shaken. Known for her loyalty to duty over emotion, she feared Andrew's scandal, and the fallout were not just damaging his image, but threatening the monarchy's long-term stability. As one insider put it, Anne sees the crown as sacred. Any attempt to undermine it, even by her own brother, is a threat. But not everyone in the family was fully united on how far the punishment should go. Some believed Andrew had served his time and deserved some private dignity, while others felt his name still carried risk. This split created a quiet but very real emotional divide among the siblings. Behind the scenes, Anne reportedly became the firm voice pushing to enforce the boundaries set by the palace. Her message was simple: if we back down now, everything we've protected will unravel. This wasn't just a public scandal anymore, it was a royal family crisis. Andrew's defiance on one side, Anne's unshakable discipline on the other, and somewhere in the middle, the monarchy itself, battling to preserve its image from within. Public pressure and scandal history, why the firm was forced to act. Prince Andrew's downfall didn't begin in 2025. It had been building for years, fueled by his controversial connection to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. His disastrous BBC Newsnight interview in 2019, where he failed to show remorse and denied ever meeting Virginia Giuffre, marked the beginning of the end. Public reaction was brutal, and the monarchy knew it was facing a serious image crisis. But for a time, they stalled, cautious, slow, unsure. That changed when the pressure became unbearable. The tipping point came when Andrew settled the civil sexual assault case with Giuffre in early 2022, reportedly for £12 million, a figure that raised eyebrows and suspicions about where the funds came from. Was public money involved? Was Charles involved? The palace denied taxpayer funding was used, but the trust was already gone. The public demanded consequences. The monarchy had no choice left. By the time 2025 arrived, the scandal hadn't faded. It had intensified. Outrage over royal spending, social media backlash, and constant reminders of Andrew's past forced the palace into action. As one royal commentator said, "The monarchy survives on image." Andrew had become an anchor, pulling it underwater. Even symbolic gestures were no longer acceptable. Andrew's honorary titles, like Vice Admiral and Knight of the Garter, were seen as relics of undeserved status. There was growing consensus that if the royal family truly wanted to move forward, they had to show they were willing to cut ties with privilege when it conflicted with public values. The pressure wasn't just coming from the public. Political voices began weighing in too. Several MPs questioned why someone accused of such serious misconduct still lived in a royal residence and received royal protections. As one lawmaker said in Parliament, "You can't claim to represent modern Britain while clinging to men like Andrew." By October 2025, the palace acted fast. Titles were stripped, honors removed, and eviction ordered. No more waiting. No more protection. The goal was clear: protect the monarchy at all costs, even if it meant burying one of its own. The scandal hadn't just wounded Andrew, it threatened the future of the entire firm. And the firm chose survival. Official break. The palace's final cut. On the 30th of October 2025, Buckingham Palace announced the most decisive step yet in the Prince Andrew saga: the complete removal of his remaining titles, privileges, and ceremonial roles. There was no soft language, no room for interpretation. Andrew was no longer His Royal Highness. He was no longer the Duke of York. He was now simply Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. This wasn't symbolic, it was personal. The letters patent, a legal instrument used to formalize royal status, were officially amended. The title he had carried for over 4 decades was erased in writing. His name was removed from royal documents, official palace records, and public-facing platforms. It was as if he never held the title at all, one royal source told ABC News. Shortly after, palace staff began removing his banners and coats of arms from royal chapels, including St. George's Chapel, where generations of royal insignia hang. Honors tied to military and civic institutions were also annulled. No more parades, no more medals, no more public salutes. Andrew's royal identity had been dismantled, piece by piece. But the most impactful move may have been the eviction order from Royal Lodge, the sprawling estate near Windsor he had lived in for years. The property had long been a symbol of his lingering privilege, even after stepping back from public life. Ending the lease sent a clear message. You are no longer part of this system, and there would be no royal grace period. This decision wasn't just about Andrew, it was about the monarchy's future. The palace, under pressure from both the public and Parliament, made a calculated choice to protect its reputation. As one insider put it, the king had no interest in dragging this out. The royal family had to act, and act hard. The firm closed the chapter. No titles, no honors, no access. The message was final. Royalty is not a shield from consequences. And for Andrew, the door didn't just close. It slammed shut. The attempted comeback fizzles. What went wrong for Andrew? After losing his titles, home, and royal identity in late 2025, insiders revealed that Prince Andrew quietly tried to reclaim pieces of his former life. According to Yahoo News, he was shocked to discover just how far the palace had gone in removing his privileges. Even the smallest royal courtesies were stripped. No staff salutes, no formal greetings, no special treatment. He was now Mr. Mountbatten Windsor, and he didn't like it. Sources claim Andrew began testing boundaries, revisiting royal estates, attending small gatherings, and speaking to former staff with an air of familiarity. But everywhere he went, the rules had changed. Security protocols no longer bent for him. Royal aides no longer included him in schedules. Even his communications with the palace were reportedly routed through official channels, not personal contacts. Some insiders say Andrew may have been encouraged by sympathetic friends or loyalists behind the scenes who believed his punishment had gone too far. But that belief collided hard with the reality. Public sentiment had not softened, and neither had the royal family's stance. Behind the scenes, it's believed that senior royals, particularly Princess Anne, firmly blocked any suggestion of reintroducing privileges. The palace, having already made a public example of Andrew, refused to risk its credibility by taking even one step back. In the eyes of the public, Andrew's behavior didn't appear remorseful. It appeared entitled. As one royal commentator noted, It wasn't a comeback. It was a desperate reach for relevance, and it failed. His quiet efforts fizzled before they could gain traction, leaving him more isolated than ever. What was once a prince's quiet life in exile became a loud reminder of a permanent fall. With no support from the public, no leverage in the family, and no place in the institution, Andrew's attempted return was over before it even began. Why Anne's silence/reaction speaks volumes. Throughout the entire collapse of Prince Andrew's royal standing, Princess Anne has remained publicly silent. A silence that, in royal circles, speaks louder than any press statement. While other family members have avoided the issue or deflected questions, Anne's quiet distance has been seen by many as a powerful declaration of where she stands. According to multiple insider reports from Geo News and Daily Jang, Anne played a key role behind the scenes in reinforcing the palace's hard line, ensuring that no part of Andrew's royal identity would be restored. Those who know Anne describe her as a woman driven by discipline, loyalty, and duty above all else. She has never been one to chase headlines or show emotion publicly, but her dedication to the crown is unwavering. Insiders say she was one of the first to express concern about how Andrew's scandal would tarnish the monarchy, even in the earliest days of the Epstein revelations. She saw it coming, one palace aide said, and she knew the damage would run deep. Even though Anne reportedly had personal reservations about the harshness of Andrew's eviction from Royal Lodge, she chose not to intervene. It's said she felt sympathy for him as a sibling, but recognized that public accountability had to outweigh private affection. That decision, to step back and let the consequences unfold, widened the emotional distance between her and Andrew, possibly for good. Her refusal to speak in his defense was not an accident. In royal dynamics, silence often signals consent to action, and Anne's silence gave the palace full cover to proceed without fear of internal resistance. It sent a message that the family was united in preserving the institution, even if it meant sacrificing one of their own. More than anything, Anne's quiet resolve helped keep the monarchy from appearing fractured or conflicted. Public unity is critical, especially in moments of crisis, and Anne ensured that no headlines could hint at internal disagreement. One royal historian put it best: Anne didn't speak because she didn't need to. Her actions, or lack of them, said it all. By staying silent, Anne closed the final door on Andrew's return, and perhaps made one of the most decisive moves in this royal saga. Her loyalty was never in question, but it was made clear. It lies with the crown, not the brother who nearly brought it down. Public reaction and media storm, the final nail. As news of Prince Andrew's failed attempt to reclaim royal privileges broke, the public response was swift, brutal, and unforgiving. Across the UK, headlines described his fall as complete, from His Royal Highness to total disgrace. On social media, outrage spread like wildfire. Thousands of users took to platforms like X, formerly Twitter, mocking his comeback efforts. One viral comment read, "You don't disappear after scandal and just expect to be called Prince again. That door is closed and bolted." The press didn't hold back either. Outlets such as The Guardian, BBC, and Sky News framed the story as a clear lesson in modern accountability. Royalty no longer equals immunity. Royal commentators called the attempted return arrogant, tone-deaf, and a disaster for the monarchy's already fragile image. For the British public, it wasn't just about Andrew. It was about what his return would have represented: entitlement over ethics. But the backlash didn't stop with Andrew. The public began turning its attention to the royal institution itself. Why did it take so long to act? Why were his privileges allowed to continue for years after his association with Jeffrey Epstein became public knowledge? And why, after everything, was a comeback even considered behind closed doors? These questions reignited long-standing frustrations about how scandals are handled in royal circles, and whether the firm is too slow to act when it involves one of their own. Even commentators who normally defend the monarchy admitted, had this been any other public figure, consequences would have come far sooner. Still, some believe the palace did what it had to, even if it came late. One royal historian told the Telegraph, "This isn't just about punishing Andrew. It's about showing the public that the monarchy is still capable of self-correction." In the end, Andrew's comeback attempt didn't just collapse. It cemented his exile. Instead of repairing his reputation, he reminded the nation why he had been removed in the first place. The scandal moved from personal disgrace to a national example of unchecked privilege finally facing a wall of accountability. For Andrew, the message was final. No sympathy, no second chance, murderous, and absolutely no way back in. Implications for the monarchy. What this means moving forward. Prince Andrew's public collapse wasn't just a personal reckoning, it was a warning shot for the entire royal family. His complete removal from titles, privileges, patronages, and property sent a chilling message through Buckingham Palace. Royal status is no longer a shield. The old system of unconditional protection is fading fast, replaced by public accountability and growing political scrutiny. As one former royal advisor put it, the institution didn't act out of morality, it acted out of necessity. What this signals is a fundamental shift in how the monarchy operates. Moving forward, non-working royals and extended family members are likely to face tighter boundaries, fewer entitlements, and no assumed privileges. Every royal title, benefit, and appearance now requires public justification, and the era of birthright immunity is slowly being dismantled. Andrew's fall has proven that being born royal is no longer enough. Within the palace, there's now a clear pivot toward a slimmed-down monarchy, an idea long championed by King Charles and increasingly supported by Prince William. The future royal frontline, Charles, Camilla, William, Kate, George, Charlotte, and Louis, is being carefully protected and elevated. Those on the outside, particularly those with baggage or public mistrust, are being pushed even further into the background. Andrew's exile reinforces this agenda and sends a clear warning to anyone else who might compromise the crown's image. But the implications go beyond strategy. There's a growing concern inside and outside the palace about public trust in the institution itself. Andrew's attempted comeback raised serious questions about who the monarchy stands for and whether it still deserves automatic respect. Many now believe the royals must double down on transparency, discipline, and ethical leadership if they want to survive a changing Britain. Above all, Andrew's removal has set a new royal precedent. Once a member of the family is officially cut off, there's no path back. It's not a suspension, it's permanent. For the remaining royals, that lesson is clear. The crown no longer protects the individual. It protects itself. And in this new age of scrutiny, no one, not even the Queen's son, is untouchable. Unanswered questions and what to watch next. Despite Buckingham Palace's public silence and a carefully managed narrative, Prince Andrew's downfall remains far from over behind the scenes. The palace may want to turn the page, but both the press and the public refuse to let go because too many critical questions remain unanswered. The first is perhaps the most pressing. Did Andrew attempt to formally challenge the decision to remove his titles and privileges? While there's been no official confirmation, multiple royal insiders suggest he explored legal avenues, including whether the terms of his lease at Royal Lodge could be enforced or whether there was any constitutional basis to push back against the removal of his Royal Highness style. Others say he made quiet appeals to King Charles and even contacted family intermediaries, hoping to spark a private reconsideration. But nothing came of it, at least not publicly. Was this all symbolic? Or a serious attempt to regain control? Second, the issue of what exactly was taken from Andrew is still murky. Yes, the palace confirmed the loss of titles, honorary military roles, and patronages. But behind closed doors, there are whispers that not all perks were revoked. Some believe Andrew still receives limited royal security protection, possibly at public expense, and that he may retain access to official transport, estate offices, or even partial use of royal trust funds. The concern is not just what he lost, but what he might have quietly kept. Third, there's growing curiosity about Princess Anne's role in the final fallout. While she's been praised for standing firm, little is known about the actual conversations that shaped the final decision. Did Anne influence the king directly? Did she act alone? Or was there pressure from other royals like Prince Edward or even Prince William to keep Andrew permanently sidelined? And if so, are those internal divisions still simmering beneath the surface? Beyond the family drama, this scandal has pushed the monarchy's entire structure into question. Parliament is now facing calls for clearer boundaries on royal privileges, mandatory financial disclosures, and more public oversight. If Prince Andrew's downfall has shown anything, it's that public patience with royal secrecy is wearing thin. But perhaps the most important question is this: is Andrew truly finished? Or could time, silence, and internal sympathy open a door for quiet reintegration years down the line? In royal history, we've seen redemption before, but we've also seen repeat disgrace. Either way, one truth remains: every move from this point forward will be watched, dissected, and remembered. Because when a royal falls, the world doesn't forget, it waits. Andrew's return wasn't just blocked. It was buried. Princess Anne's silent stance sealed his fate, showing the monarchy won't bend to scandal, not even for family. With no titles, no power, and no support, Andrew's royal story appears finished. And this time, there may be no comeback left to make.